Item number 7, this is presentations. This is the city manager and the Yreka fire chief. This is an update on the sales tax, fire hall, and paid fire staff, and the state of California update fire severity map for Yreka.
So, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Jerry Lemus, Yreka Fire Chief. So as you all are aware, some time ago, prior to the measure being passed in November, we started out with the anticipation that, of course, the hope was that it would pass, and it did. But we started working on plans for establishing a new fire station, looking for properties, working with the NMR, Nichols, Melberg, and Rosetto, the architectural firm from Reading, is who we selected. And what you see on the slide there is basically a computer-generated version of what the architects came up with, and I'm still just, in awe of what it looks like and what it could look like when it's all said and done. So at this point, we have the hopes of finishing up some final modifications to the plans, but this is basically what it would look like, if we could start building today, and hopefully within a couple of years it would be completed. So we're well on our way ahead of the curve. Instead of starting, once we knew that the measure passed, we were already ready to go, hit the ground running when that happened. So that should eliminate some of the need for, additional time to complete the project. The site selection process took quite a while, but we narrowed it down to a couple of sites, and we're currently working on finalizing the latest one, 915 South Main Street, the former Shop Smart or Priceless Foods. It's been my favorite from day one. We had planned on doing some training there, and in talking with the PAC Trust representative, the landowner, we were able to work out over the years. We've talked about training and doing some different things there, and when it became available, we jumped on it, and we're still just finalizing that purchase agreement as we speak. So hopefully, very soon we'll be in terms of once all the due diligence work is done on site, we'll be breaking ground at some point. So. So the design and engineering, as I said, from NMR, and we've had feedback through our fire department members. We have a committee that we've put together to kind of go over and learn from their perspective where things would be and how it would operationally, how it would fit our needs, and that has happened. So in addition, we've been working on, this will happen sooner than the fire station completion, but paid staff. And that has been, Mr. John Elsnab has been very helpful in getting job descriptions lined out, and also the application process, prior to putting it out to the public. So salary schedules along with that, and determining, who's going to be on the hiring interview panels. So we're in good shape right now for that to start in a few months, and hopefully by mid-year we'll have some people hired. Next slide. So again, this is just another shot from what essentially would be across the street, maybe the county building or the museum, that how that would look from that particular view. So as you see, it's a very handsome building, and I'm looking forward to moving forward and getting this thing off the ground and having it be the focal point for Yreka. Next slide, if there is one. So again, this would be the rear of the building. Kind of showing that smaller gray colored building there would be kind of where the barracks would be. And we're still working on a few modifications there as well. And, have an area for personnel to, next to the kitchen there to have their area to eat or, enjoy the outdoors before they go on a call. And then, farther to the right, you see the back part of where the apparatus, we could load hose, wash vehicles, that type of thing. So. Very nice. Next slide. Again, kind of a different angle from the front. The engine bays would definitely be more adequate than what we have now to fit the ladder truck and other apparatuses. Like I said in previous presentations, how they've become much larger than what they were back when our current station was built. So, yeah, and I can't say anything negative. We haven't really made that many changes except for doing a mirror image from where we had it on the north side. The engine bays are now on the south side to not interfere with certain traffic flow. So, next slide. Again, you see where it has City of Yreka Fire Department there on the front there with the flagpoles and the nice Maltese cross emblem on the stone structure there. Just, it all really flows well together, so really happy with that. Again, more of an aerial shot from the back of the station, and those are the roll-up doors, so we can drive in from the back off of 4th Street and have room there in the lower left where you see the vehicles. There'll be more room there. They won't be so close there. And then we'll be able to swing around to the right there where you see the edge of the tree and then have access to the front. So there's a lot of change, a lot of grading will have to be done in certain areas to accommodate that drop in elevation from 4th Street down to the station. So next slide. Okay, so that completes my portion, and I'll turn it over to Jason.
Yeah, thank you, Chief Lemus. Once again, this is Jason Ledbetter, the city manager. And so ultimately, as Chief Lemus expressed his gratitude, I just want to reiterate that gratitude, that we are both very grateful that the community has basically voted to approve the 1% sales tax initiative. And now I just want to kind of give a deeper understanding of the steps that are happening behind the scenes. When does this go into effect? So the implementation date for this sales tax starts on April 1st, 2025. So the state of California is already engaging the local businesses to have the sales tax alteration take place on that date. We should not expect to see, this is from the state of California, we should not expect to see any of this new revenue dispersed to the city of Yreka until after July 1st of 2025. The tax is projected to bring in roughly $2.4 million annually. And the projects that we plan on funding here are paid fire staff and a new fire hall that is currently being developed, as you can see from the imagery within the slideshow that we're showing here tonight. Next slide, please. And so what are the timelines for these key events here for the city of Yreka? So for the new fire hall, we're currently under property negotiations with the folks that own the Shop Smart site, or what we commonly refer to as the Shop Smart or Old Safeway site here on Main Street in town. What has to happen regardless of that site, if we chose a different site, we need to do what's called an ESA phase 1. So we need to check out the environment here. We need to know if there's been any level of contamination, and so that's really just going back to the property owner. That's filling out a form, having them fill out that questionnaire, which would have us start the process to identify, do we need to do some sampling? We're anticipating that more than likely phase 1 will lead to phase 2, which would be sampling. And we have some rough time frames here, so we consider phase 1 should take us about 4 to 6 weeks. Phase 2 of the actual sampling. So some of the things that you would find in an older building would be lead paint and asbestos. Those are very common things, and we would assume they would be on this site as well. And they would take into the lab and they would be tested, and then ultimately there would be a demolition plan for those particular items so that when the rest of the building got demoed, people were not at risk of getting sick from that environmental contamination. And then another big one, especially for this site that we're looking at, is the geotechnical soil analysis. So we are building a very heavy building. We need to make sure, especially in a community like ours where there's a number of mine shafts that run all over the city, we need to make sure that the soil is stable and can take the building itself. And so we expect that to take about 3 to 4 weeks. Now this portion is extremely important because it gets built into the property agreement. And so we will be bringing on the 18th of this month contracts for City Council to vote on whether or not they want us to move forward on the quotes we have for the people that will be doing, the consulting firms that would be doing this work. We also have bond counsel, Cameron Wiest. We just spoke about this at the Finance Committee meeting earlier this week. And so we are looking at a long-term financial planning document for the general fund. And we want to know how this tax revenue is going to affect our current general fund combined with these projects that we want to fund, paid fire staff and a new fire hall. We want to have a long-term financial document that everybody understands, the city council, the staff, and the public, so that we work that financial plan because ultimately we can expect the cost of construction to continue to increase. Really every day that goes by, CPI just drives construction costs higher. And then through that process, Cameron Weist will be working with USDA to really ideally, our ideal loan would be through USDA on a 40-year term. And so ultimately, we hope that the financial planning and the loan term coincide sometime around July, where we would be coming back to you guys with those documents. And I'm giving you some perfect world scenarios. So we would gain site control in the year 2025. That's our goal. We think that we're definitely going to hit that. And then moving into next season, we would have demolition and grading in 2026, and that would lead to construction in 2027 on this side. On the paid fire staff side, Chief Lemos mentioned this. HR Director John Elsnab has been just incredible with this project, so he's already started the job descriptions. He's working with CHW, our attorney firm here, on an update to the Fire Municipal Code. He will be bringing forth benefit resolutions for the City Council to vote on. We are exploring the opportunity to possibly subsidize some of this staffing that we're bringing on, these 6 paid firefighters and 1 administrative tech that would help oversee grant applications, training, really support Chief Lemos with administration and oversee scheduling and payroll, really. We're looking at utilizing the SAFER grant if the timing works out so we can subsidize some of this new paid fire staff. And we plan on doing interviews for new paid fire staff this May, so just in a couple months from now, with the hypothetical start date of July of 2025 to coincide with the fiscal year calendar start date, when we can anticipate the funding would be coming in and we would be able to cover those costs. So Chief Lemos and I are definitely available if anybody would like to ask questions. So thank you.